And welcome to the Mike and Brad Show. I'm Mike Murray, and
I'm Brad Pierce.
hey, I'm gonna start right off out of the gate. Brad, I just noticed, and it just came to light. The past few times we've been together, you probably noticed I wasn't hearing that well, and you were like, "Hey, are those things on? Like, what's going on?"
Yeah.
Well,
There might be new viewers. First of all, let's start by this. Mike Murray, real quick, is a deaf guy. He's got cochlear implants that help him hear very well. But the last couple of days we've been hanging out, he's been having a hard time hearing
what's going on? Did the gallbladder mess things up with his brain? But I just, out of curiosity, because I just missed something out there.
Yep.
Normally I would catch that right away.
Yep.
And I'm like, hey, let me go on my app. And sure enough, my volume was at 25%.
All day I've been like...
So I was only hearing 25% of what people were saying. So now it's like...
Full blast.
Oh, I'm back.
I didn't know you could adjust the volumes on them.
Yes, I can.
We learn something new about cochlear implants every week on the show. I literally didn't know. I knew I've been with Mike when his battery dies, but that's a fun game when you realize your friend can no longer hear. But I didn't know you could adjust it. So I think, it took me a second. I'm not the quickest, sharpest tool in the shed.
Kidding.
Do you think that lady was
roasting? That's another episode.
Do you think that lady was roasting us? So here's what happened. Mike was saying, just as we were coming in here to start the show, there were a few nice older women doing their thing, probably on their way to play cribbage or something. And this lady was trying to talk to Mike, but she kept going.
Probably flirt.
I think she was roasting us because I'm thinking about it now. She kept going. She was pointing at you and she goes, "Is that Ernie? Is that Ernie?" And he's not hearing her because his volume was down. And I'm trying to tell her, hey, he's deaf. And then, do you think that she was calling us Bert and Ernie?
It all works. I mean, really, right?
I think for Halloween we should go as Bert and Ernie.
Wow.
I was like, why did she keep calling Mike Ernie? She's like, "You Ernie?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, miss. He's deaf."
She was definitely roasting us.
I think she's roasting us. We deserve it.
No
We're
big
comics.
deal.
We're actually in the middle of doing comedy right now. We have two comedy bus shows today. One was the brunch bus at 11, which we just finished, and we get another one at 6:30. So we're like, what do? I know what we do. We please the fans. We do an episode of the Mike and Brad Show. For those who haven't been tuning along, Mike recently almost died from eating himself into oblivion, but today he's going healthy. He's having chocolate milk, the healthiest choice around. Only 370 calories. It's like a V8 juice. Look at this shit. So good for you. But anyways, so we're in the middle of a work day. We're both a little bit tired. Are you tired? We're getting old, Mike. We get tired in the middle of the day.
We definitely could take a nap. I think hoping the comedy bus starts putting some beds in there maybe. We can lay down in between shows. But people think it's easy, the comedy bus.
It's not easy.
It's the hardest gig on earth because you're on a moving bus, all right? The windows are open. So you got all this noise from outside. You got traffic, cop cars, motorcycles, helicopters.
We're driving by strip clubs.
You got people yelling stuff from the sidewalk. And then you got people on the buses, bringing booze. They're passing shots out each other. All the while you're trying to not only tell jokes, but to keep your balance at the same time.
We're trying not to fall. Mike doesn't want to break his hip, but we got to keep them locked. But luckily, the comedy bus has Bert and Ernie working for him, and we're professional. So it went well. We had a great audience today. Book your comedy bus today. You know what I mean? Book your tickets today. ComedyBus.net. Shameless plug. Guys, it's football season. I talked so much shit about the Patriots going into this season. And they
got
won.
Egg on your face.
They got game 1 victory against Cincinnati, which is a very good team. With Joe Burrow is back, even though I did see him. Did you see him messing with his hand?
Burrow's not back. Was it Burrow?
Yes, it was.
I'm thinking of Marshall.
Burrow is the quarterback of the Bengals, who I love because they are one of the few teams who's ever defeated KC in the playoffs. So I like Burrow. I like the Bengals. But our beloved Patriots upset and won game 1, probably their only victory this year, but it was epic. Very, very big surprise.
Yeah, I don't know if Brad's yelling or I put the volume up maybe a little too high. This guy is screaming.
It's the caffeine here at Brewed Awakening.
The caffeine's got him jacked.
awakenings.
Yeah,
Waking
so-
my ass up.
What was crazy about the NFL first week, it was super exciting, and supposedly they got more views than any other season start, was the amount of money they're spending on players. Like these quarterbacks were dropping like flies, and they got like 250 million, 500 million, like guaranteed money, and then Trump, like Tua's guaranteed like $80 million. So if he never comes back, $80 million.
Tua Tagovailoa. Tua Crocodile. Say his last name. Tua's last name.
Tua Mahara.
No.
Tua Mahara.
It's like
Tua
Tua-
Tagovailoa.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Nobody knows, not even Vinny Jack or Nelly knows how to say his last name.
Tua Guadalajara just had his 75th concussion last week, so I don't think we'll be seeing a whole lot of Tua. God rest his soul. But listen, Mike's saying that they're paying big money for football players these days. So just out of curiosity, Dolphins are looking for a quarterback. They want to save a little money. How much
Would they pay me?
would you want to go in and add that game this next week? You get a starting quarterback. Those guys are coming at you.
Well, first of all, it has to be attractive to pull me away from the comedy bus scene.
Right.
It has to be attractive. I won't be working for tips anymore, so that would be cool.
It better be a
no
good-
more
better be
tap
a-
dancing for people. Right?
Miami better get
Yes,
a big
exactly.
offer. You get in that game, you're about to get nailed with those guys running full speed at you.
And I'm an easy target. I don't know if you
Yeah.
noticed.
Well,
But I'm low to the ground.
you're low to the ground. You
Yeah,
just
I'm
lay
low to
down.
the ground. I'm like a husky Doug Flutie.
Yeah, I've often thought. Mike reminds
So
me.
having said that, I'll probably do it for a cereal box contract. You know, but these guys, like, just for the guaranteed thing, I would probably fake an injury. So they'll sign a $200 million
No.
contract.
In this
They
hypothetical,
guarantee they guarantee it for like $375,000. I'm going down on the first
in
play.
this hypothetical, you have to play the full game this weekend. You have to. Every play, every down, you got to play in this hypothetical. How much you want? One game. Just one game.
Oh, just play the
Just
full
one
game.
game. This game, you're starting for the Miami Dolphins this week. Well, you're going to be injured, obviously.
I'll wear one of
So
those-
you're not coming back for another game because
I'll
you're going to
wear
be
one
injured.
of those sumo wrestling outfits where people bounce into each other. I'll wear that, and I'll do it for just $1 million.
Oh, that's it. Miami, I hope you're watching. You could save so much money if you just pay this guy $1 million to be
How
a
many
starting
people
quarterback.
would tune in to see
Dude,
that?
it'd be the greatest
like
game
a
I've ever
regular
seen.
guy.
Be the best game ever. It'd be like the movie with Mark Wahlberg, is Invincible?
True story.
That's
Came
a good-
out of the
that's a good
stands.
movie.
You know, they needed somebody. What was it? Was he a running back or something, or kicker? What was
No,
it?
he wasn't a kicker. 'Cause
wide
they wouldn't-
receiver?
Nobody makes a movie about a kicker in football.
Unless you are a mule.
Yes, unless it's one of those movies that Mike loves.
and
with
you
the
work
animals.
for Disney.
Yeah. Why do
You
you think
get
it's a
your own
mule? They
movie.
definitely never made a mule kick
Yes,
a
they
movie.
did. The Disney made a movie about a mule that kicked field goals for
Now,
football.
We used to have this guy.
And this mule never missed too, by the way.
They're good kickers.
60 yarders all the time.
We used to have this guy, Tom Batista, who would produce our show. And it's times like this, I would ask him to fact check Mike Murray. But we no longer can afford a producer, and we only paid him in bubble soda. What was that soda we used to buy him, bubble soda? Over here, they have the cans of bubble soda. What is that shit called?
The what? The bubble?
The bubble soda. It's like the sparkly water.
Yeah, I don't know
It's
what's
not
that.
important. That's all we can afford. We can't afford it anymore. Tom Batista's gone. I hope he's right now playing in the NFL because we don't know where the hell he went. In more NFL, I think
I'm
he's
looking up.
fact-checking.
I'm
He's
looking
checking
up.
me.
And ready?
What's the name of it?
Here's what I put in DuckDuckGo. I don't use Google because they're terrorists. Follow me for more tips. You ready?
Google's responsible for the Great Pumpkin Conspiracy.
Oh, wait, ready? And the movie's name was Gus.
It's a real movie. So there's a movie named
A
Gus.
struggling football team takes a bet on a miracle mule in this modern trailer for the 1976 Walt Disney film
76.
Gus.
Here's the thing. Mike's 100 years old. So I was like, there's no movie about that. But it came out before I was born, so I didn't know.
And wouldn't you
It's
know?
from 76, so they didn't even have CGI.
And there is Don Knotts coaching Gus.
Oh,
and Gus has a helmet on.
This is what we have to. This is what we have to do now because we have no producer. I have to do this to show you. This is still shot from Gus, the mule football kicker, and they didn't even have CGI.
If you've seen, if the game's on the line and they call in the mule, it's over.
Oh, it's game over.
It's
He's
over.
like
Game over.
It's like Vinatieri. That mule is clutch.
Vinatieri, who? That's what the Gus said. Vinatieri couldn't even ride on Gus's
So how did
back.
they even shoot it? Because there was no Nowadays they'd have CGI. And you'd have the CGI mule kick it, but how did they do it? This is 70s.
There's only one answer to that. He actually kicked the field goal.
That's an impressive mule. In other football news, did you see that Bill Belichick has an Instagram account now?
Not only that, they say he's hysterical.
Yeah, here's the thing. Bill Belichick's dating a 24-year-old, so he's trying to like be cool and hip with the
She's
kids.
getting him out of his shell.
Yeah, he's like, I'll go on Instagram. He probably shuffle dances on TikTok. He's getting, in all the trends. You know what I mean? He's driving around listening to Drake right now or something. Or Taylor Swift. How annoying is Taylor Swift in football? Taylor Swift. So here's the thing. I never had a strong opinion about Taylor Swift because I'm not a 16-year-old girl, so I don't even pay attention. But I hate the Chiefs so much. And now, if the Chiefs are on television, we get to see her every 5 seconds. There's one way Taylor Swift could redeem herself in my eyes. If it comes out that this whole time she's been cheating on Kelsey with Vince Wilfork, then I will forgive her. That's the only way I'll forgive her.
Cheating on Travis Kelce with Bill Belichick.
Ooh, just might as well add another 24-year-old girlfriend. I thought you were going to say with Gus.
And then Taylor will break up with him. Will break up with Belichick,
right? I thought for sure.
And that whole song, what's that song gonna be about? What's that song gonna be about?
I thought for sure
it's gonna sound like maybe Carrie Underwood trying to take of like Sunday Night Football. Like Sunday, like, are you ready for football? And she's just like, I hate Bill Belichick.
With that same rip. I thought you were gonna say she's cheating on Travis with Gus, the field goal kicker. Anyhow,
and that concludes our
this is a family show, for God's sakes. And speaking of family shows and how, I'm like, how do I broach this news topic without, we've already crossed the line as far as inappropriate content. So I'm going to word this as family friendly as I can. Did you see the news that somehow Shannon Sharpe accidentally went on his Instagram Live while making love with a woman? Did you hear about this?
I did see something come across the feed, but I didn't bother watching it. It did say something about did he get fired for it?
I don't know about that. I don't know what's going on.
I hope he wasn't talking because he's hard to understand. So if he must be a real bad, dirty talker. It's like, give it to me, baby. Baby, come on, baby. Give me that. Give me that sugar, baby.
Here's my problem with Shannon Sharpe, right? The dude, forever. Look, I understand why he hates Skip. I almost said Skip Daniels.
If you don't know who Skip Daniels is,
Skip Daniels is a friend of ours.
He's a magician friend of ours who's absolutely hysterical.
He's a magician / comedian who does no sports shows on Fox, ever. He's never been on Undisputed.
Never been a commentator.
Skip Bayless. I understand. Skip Bayless is a douche. I get that. But Shannon Sharpe talks so much shit about Tom Brady year after year after year.
So you're
and
reveling
it's literally just to troll Skip, because as soon as they switch shows, the next time I heard Shannon Sharpe talking about Tom Brady, it was all positive. So it was really just to piss Skip off, which, we're not all Skip. Some of us legitimately like Tom Brady because he's the greatest of all time. Anyways, so which made me wonder, Mike, have you ever accidentally answered a phone call or gone on Instagram Live while making love in your lifetime?
I actually encourage it.
I can't see your wife going for that. I can't see her being on board with that. That's what's going to suck about being...
You don't want to hear me at all. Nobody wants to hear wheezing.
It's
My
gonna-
sexy word is medic.
That's how he ended up in the hospital a couple weeks ago. He blew out his gallbladder while making love. It must suck to be that famous. So you have this embarrassing thing. So one time, again, family show, I was having, intimate moment with my wife, and my phone was like sitting on like the radiator, and her sister called, the phone somehow fell without us realizing it and answered. So I say all this to say, I can see how something like that could happen. And I was embarrassing just in our family. Shannon Sharp has this moment and the whole world's talking about it. It's going to suck to be famous.
What?
This is why, see, Mike and I get called from Netflix and HBO every day. But we don't want all the fame and glamour. We're like, you know what? You can take your movie contracts.
Yeah.
We're going to stick with the comedy bus. We don't need all that attention.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like Netflix called me while I was on the comedy bus today. I'm like, why are they bothering me now? Like, I'll call him later when I get a chance. But was he having sex with somebody other than his wife? Is he married or?
That, I really literally just found out about this on the way in here. 'Cause what I do is I text a couple friends, you got any subjects for the show? And one person said, hey, you guys can talk about that. I don't know much about that. Okay. I hope it's nothing that's ruining families. I don't want anything like that. It's just, to me, my point was, this guy has this embarrassing moment and everyone's talking about it. That's the world we live in. Social media, you're famous now. Whew. You do something embarrassing, everyone's talking about it. Even, it's a big story when they're talking about it on the Mike and Brad show. That's my point.
Yeah, and you bring this up, but there was no mention a few weeks ago about Hulk Hogan's sex tape that he had.
Yeah, but I thought that was old news because he had to go to trial and talk about his penis and stuff.
No,
this show's going off the rails.
All right, let's get back
no
to
more
the
about
basics
penises. Is it penises or peni? What's the plural of penis?
Sure, I never thought of it.
All right, we're going to stop talking about this. This is a family show, damn it. Everyone's tuned out. Last time on the show, we had the back to school special. It's back to school time. And Mike and I talked about our high school careers and the different trajectories of our lives as far as being a student. But what I never got to ask Mike Murray is, after he worked very hard, he had to go through a lot because of his hearing loss to get through school and everything. I never got to ask you if you ever attended any college.
I actually did. It wasn't until I didn't go right into it. I started working at the Journal, and after a few years working in the Journal, I ended up working in the accounting department, but in the mail room, like handling all the billing and all that stuff like that. So then I maybe saw maybe there would be a career in the accounting department. I already had my foot in the door, so I took an accounting course.
Where?
At CCRI. Your alumni. How you say it?
Alumni. So Mike's making a reference the other day. I sent him a picture of me and Jay Leno, and I had a CCRI alumni shirt. Now, what I didn't tell you is I actually never graduated from CCRI.
Why am I?
So when I went,
I didn't think you did either.
When I was going to, I do have a college degree. I have a bachelor's degree in film studies from Rhode Island College, which is why this show is so perfectly produced.
That's why. That's why we're filming this on an iPhone.
But I never got a degree at CCRI. The reason I had a CCRI alumni shirt is I was going out to Hollywood with a friend of mine. We were going on a trip, and I was trying to find a shirt that would represent home that would be funny. And I saw CCRI alumni. Like, who's proud? Like, people have like Harvard alumni, Yale alumni. Like, who the hell? Why do they even sell a CCRI alumni shirt? So I bought it as a joke. Anyhow, you took a course at CCRI, the Community College of Rhode Island. For those watching from England right now.
And I passed it. I was shocked. But I focused, I did well, and I was thinking, but it was just one course, and then I'm like, this is not for me.
So Mike's college career consisted of one class. I took like 400 classes at CCRI. I would quit, I'd go back, I would take one, I would quit, I'd go back, and then eventually I got married, and my wife told me to get my shit together, and I got a degree in film studies, which again has been super lucrative, because now I tell jokes on a tour bus. So we've gone from high school to college. Now, how many jobs would you say you had over your lifetime?
Oof.
Tell me one that sticks out. What's a job that I would not get? We wouldn't
Dude,
guess that you had.
I was always had multiple jobs too. So while I was working at the Journal, I also worked at Club Promenade and I also worked at Star Market all at the same time.
All right, let's rewind. What is Club
Club Promenade is on Promenade Street. It was we passed it on
Like a
the bus
nightclub?
every day. Yeah, it was a nightclub. I
What
was
did
a
you do
bar
at the-
back.
Oh, wow. Mike
I
at
used to
the
make a
nightclub.
ton of money. This is back in 1981. I was making a couple $100 a night as a bar back
You
in
should
81.
have stayed in that career.
It was amazing, and I did that for. I was at the Journal for 18 years. And
Providence Journal.
I
for
was at
those
the
wondering.
Star Market for probably 7 years, and I always had a lot of things. And but then I started my own businesses, as you know, and carpet cleaning, power washing, property management, office cleaning, all that stuff.
He's done it all.
Yeah, I did it all.
I had several jobs too over the years. I actually got fired once from KB Toy Store. Did I ever
No
tell you
way.
that story?
No.
All right, so
Oh my
you'll
God.
love this. I worked at KB Toys, which is
The only time I had to go in there was Christmas season.
Oh, dude, that was a nightmare
The
working.
worst.
The great thing about getting fired from that job is I hated the job so much that when I got fired, I'm like, oh, thank God. And I did work there during the holiday rush, and it was insane.
How'd they
You would
fire
be
you?
there checking somebody out, and the line would be through the whole store. And it just felt like I'm never going home. I am going to be ringing out these freaking Furbies and Teletubbies or whatever the rest of the day. So what happened was, I'm not proud of this story, for the record. As you know, Mike, I've never been a financially successful guy, and I was a young kid, I was a teenager, and if there was ever a loophole to try to get easy money, I never sold drugs, for the record, but if there was a loophole to try to get easy money, I would usually jump on it. Well, there were these things called Furbies. Do you know what Furbies were?
You started about flipping them.
Yes, I was flipping Furbies.
Okay,
Because they were hard to
To
get.
be clear,
Yeah, well,
this
it's-
store is out of business right now. So
Yes, 'cause
so
of
the
me.
statute of limitations is done.
They can't come
They
after
can't
me.
come after you. All right, so tell us about your
So-
black market Furbies.
So for a while, back in the day, every year, for whatever reason, they even made a movie about it with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Every year there was like a toy that was wicked hard to get. That was like the thing. Remember that? There was Tickle Me Elmo, and then they even made a movie.
Cabbage Patch Kids.
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad made that movie
What was the name of that
Jingle
toy?
All the Way.
What was the name of the toy?
Rocket Man.
No.
Turbo Man.
Turbo Man.
All right, so Turbo. So anyways, it was just a thing. There was like certain toys. So I had the inside connection because I worked at a toy store, and they had a limited supply. So I was flipping them. I got caught. I got fired.
That's why you got fired?
Yes, for flipping the Furbies. Furbies were these little. For those who don't know, they're like these little furball things that would talk
They
or
look like
something.
they look like the gremlins almost.
Yeah, like a gizmo.
But how did you get? How'd they catch you? How
Well,
sloppy were you?
Because really sloppy. Because
He
it
was
was.
selling them at the counter.
I was selling in the mall.
Is that all you need? Oh,
I was
So,
selling them.
One of these hard to find Furbies.
I was selling them in the mall.
No,
It's the same mall. That
Brad opened up his own kiosk. It was BP Toys instead of KB Toys. BP Toys, and to keep a low profile, I could picture him in the kiosk going, "Get your Furbies here, Furbies, get your Furbies here, half price." Just in time for Christmas, folks.
I've gotten fired from several jobs. I'm thinking of other jobs.
Did you
I've
have
been
like a
fired from.
trench coat and like let's open up and just Furbies on both sides, like and no clothes,
It wasn't my proudest
just for the
achievement.
effect.
It wasn't my
So
proudest achievement.
how did you? So how'd they catch you? Actually catch you?
Yeah, because I think someone must have saw me selling them in the mall.
Yeah.
It was
Why
like, hey,
should I pay $50 here when I
so
could pay?
It's not my
40?
proudest achievement, but the funny thing is, you would think of
You
shame.
still had your uniform on from KB.
You would think of shame. I would never go back to that mall. I actually got a job. So Rhode Island Mall was this dying enterprise over 10, 20 years. It was slowly dying. If you remember, the Rhode Island Mall was a booming mall.
Yeah.
And then all the time you'd be like, oh, that store closed. Oh, that's interesting. That store closed. And then slowly, every store started closing. So at this point, KB was one of the only successful stores left. I got a job across the hallway, right after I got fired, at a place called the International Fruit and Nut Shop. It was a candy stand. Let me tell you, there was nothing.
This is all news to me, people. I've known this guy so long. I had no idea he was an international thief. So was you selling nuts now?
Yeah, selling nuts, but literally diagonally across from KB Toys. And there was nothing international about the place. The name makes no sense.
Everything was made in Nebraska.
Again, the mall's dying. So I go from KB Toys, which everybody knows, to a candy stand in the middle of the mall. It's like one of those stands you just write kiosk things in the middle.
Oh, those are the worst.
I sat there all day just reading comic books. Like I'd get a customer once, maybe an hour.
He definitely wasn't reading his Rhode Island College book.
No, I was not doing my homework for CCRI. And it was literally, so the people I used to work with at KB would walk by me to go to grab lunch at the food court. So they'd be like, oh, like, so everybody who's seen me, probably the lady who fired me would walk by me every day. And that was one of my many jobs. I've had many jobs also.
Let me ask you a question. There's zero chance your parents knew you got fired from KB?
No, I didn't tell them.
They do
that.
now.
They don't watch the Mike and Brad show, I don't think. They're not big fans of my work.
I will be bringing this up. I do definitely go to a lot of family functions with the passes, and I will definitely bring this up at Thanksgiving. I'm like, hey, Deb, Gordy, check this out. Remember that gig?
I actually...
You pulled strings
dude,
to get back.
You're bringing back memories. I actually do think they know. Because, so at my house, I live with my parents. At my door, I would hang up funny shit on the door of my bedroom. So there was a newspaper article. The Furbies were the big thing about people hawking Furbies in the mall. So there was a newspaper, it didn't say my name, but it was referencing people doing that.
Wow.
I cut out the article.
Like a serial killer. That's what serial killers do. Are you nuts? I wonder why they caught you. Dad ratted you out, said, I think my son, she called in to Channel 10. I think my son's behind this.
I had it hanging on the door. I swear. This is what kills me about my parents. My parents don't throw away anything. They'll call me and be like, Brad, I found one of your notebooks from second grade. But I had so much funny stuff on the door. One day I go back to the house because I want to grab the stuff I had on the door. They threw it all away. I had this note. I wanted this note forever. I don't think I've ever told you this either. My grandfather, in one of my birthday cards, I was probably, I don't know, somewhere 17, 18, maybe 19 years old, something like that. He literally wrote a letter, like a little note, basically telling me I'm a loser and I need to get the shit together. In a birthday card. It said, I swear to you, it said like...
Happy birthday, Brad. Yeah. Fix yourself.
Yeah, basically. I swear, I'm not making this up. It said, he
was just mad because he couldn't get a Furby.
He said, when I was your age, I had such and such saved. And you really need to think about blah, 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 in a birthday card. So I was like, this asshole. So I literally hung it on the front of my door. So every day my parents could see it, anybody who could see it. And I had it, and I
highlighted. They didn't even have highlights back then.
I want that note for the rest of my life. Because
they threw it out.
They threw everything on my door away. I had all this stuff on my door.
I would have had that made into a shirt.
Oh, dude. We didn't have iPhones back then. I would have had at least a digital picture of it. It's always bothered me because it was like the meanest fucking thing. And I wanted to keep that forever. Wow. Anyways, true story. I got
nuts.
Yeah, so I don't want to keep going. I could talk all day about my jobs and getting fired and everything.
It's amazing that you turned out to be
such a huge success that I am today. Look at me now.
Look at me now.
Eat that, Grandpa. Look at me. I'm doing the Mike and Brad show in Brood.
Yeah. I can't believe that.
Yeah, it's funny because I don't think about this stuff, but then like my brain's going back in time and I'm remembering all this stuff. I did a lot of ridiculous stuff, actually.
You've gotten a lot of hate mail from family members.
My
I
grandfather
know.
was,
I know.
my grandfather.
I've heard other story. That was the first one about that family member.
I used to have the joke about my grandmother where she said, Brad's a nice kid, he just lacks ambition.
Yeah.
That's a true thing she
I
said.
remember that. It was one of your first
that
jokes.
grandmother.
She was like 102 when she passed away.
Yeah.
She had her noodles up until she was one.
Yeah, she was sharp at 100 years old, but I stopped doing the joke because she passed away. But that was from the same. It's not the gay grandfather. The gay grandfather, I don't remember ever talking bad, at least to my face. About
That's why.
This is the straight grandfather.
So it was the straight grandfather. Because I'm thinking, wow, I always thought gay people are nice.
The gay guy. I don't
so
remember.
he was nice then. It was the other guy.
Yeah, it was the other one that bashed me.
The other one needed some men in his life then.
I
That was a pretty hateful birthday card. I can't wait till your birthday.
I wish I could show you that. I wish.
Your next birthday.
You would have laughed your ass off. Because I only remember a couple lines, but it was a full note.
Every card from now on, I never gave you a card. But from now on, you're getting a card from me. And I swear, I'm just going to put a nice little message on it.
I don't know how we're doing for time. We're going to wrap this up soon probably. But that's all very true. And I did have a lot of different jobs. I definitely got fired more than once. I got fired from Meritage over that restaurant over there.
Did you get fired or did you quit from the hotels?
The hotel I quit. I didn't get fired. I had a job at a Marriott hotel for 7 years, and I quit it to take a job for 7 days.
I did get fired from one job.
What'd you get fired for?
When I was 16, I got a job at a nursing home, and we worked there on Saturday and Sunday, 20 hours a week. So 10 hours Saturday, 10 hours Sunday. All day we were there. And I loved the job. It was good money. We were there. I was there for probably a year and a half. And here's how we got fired. We got fired because we had a pool on who was going to die next in the nursing home.
Wow.
Yeah,
and they found out?
So it was like a fantasy league, but...
Dude, I have never been...
And we had team names and everything.
God,
and we
that's
had,
so disturbing.
And we had lists of all the nursing home people.
That is so disturbing.
Yeah, and it was just...
Dude,
And then somebody found somebody... I mean, we was being stupid about it because we posted it.
They had a big poster in the break room. It's like, Bertha died. You guys owe me $75.
And you know how we knew when somebody passed away? Time heals all wounds, Brad. Time heals all wounds. I know for a fact even family members have passed on since then because it was I was 16, so it was like 1978. So everybody's moved on since then.
Yeah.
But how we knew somebody passed away, because we worked in the kitchen, we would get a call from saying so-and-so is not going to be eating dinner tonight.
Oh, that was the code.
And then we'd be like...
The code.
Yeah, we just knew.
That is so screwed up. I have never... So a lot of my friends play fantasy football. I've never
I
been
didn't
interested.
find it. I just had a team. I didn't think of the game. But I did get on board because there was money on the line.
I've never been into fantasy football, but that's interesting. That is interesting. That reminds me of a thing. God, I hope my parents don't watch this episode. That reminds me of a thing, not quite as crazy as that, but so I have 2 older brothers and I have 3 cousins. We have a very small family, and our 3 cousins are similar in age, so there's 6 grandkids. We used to always talk about what's the order of grandkids that my grandmother likes. Like who was...
Oh, yeah. I remember you telling me this.
Yeah, there was, and it would fluctuate kind of what people were doing.
And you guys used to keep tabs on that because it kept changing.
It changed.
It was
a
like
lot.
the stock market.
Yeah, like who's leading in grandma's pool right now? Like, does she like me? Like me, I don't have kids. That was against me. My career isn't the best. That was against me. Like certain things.
She had like a grading system.
Yeah, that was a big thing. Man, my parents better not watch this episode.
She could thank her lucky stars she didn't live in the nursing home I was in.
Mike would have
never made it to 102.
Oh, dude, if you bet on her to live, you would have made all the money. She lived so long. Man, I don't know where we're at for time. I was going to ask you one more question, tell you one more story, but I don't know. Let me check. Because we usually do about a half hour. Oh, we're already way. All right, we'll have to save these topics for next time. I do have some topics for next week, but we are out of time.
We did cover a lot.
We covered a lot about my past that I didn't even know we'd be diving into.
I'm just blown away about the Furby thing. This is like unsolved mysteries.
America's Most Wanted.
I'm calling a news channel today.
Yeah.
You're
like, I caught the guy.
Like DB Cooper. Everybody was wondering there was a shortage of Furbies. Well, Brad Pierce had them all. Beep.
Wasn't my-
BP Cooper.
Wasn't my proudest moment. Hey, thanks for tuning into the Mike and Brad Show. Subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell. You guys have been great. Thank you. Oh, my gosh.
The Furbies. I can't.